This is St. Louis Cardinals baseball. We're in San Francisco and AT&T Park. It's game number 3 of the 4-game series. The St. Louis Cardinals and the San Francisco Giants. With Tim McCarver, I'm Dan McLaughlin, and welcome to Cardinals baseball. Cardinals a 1-run loss last night in Game 2 after 18 hits in Game 1. So they try to bounce back, and they'll do that with Carlos Martinez.
That cable car put a smile on your face.
It did.
Well, that's exactly what Carlos Martinez does to the Cardinals when he's pitching well. And his last 2 starts have been Carlos Martinez-like, hoping to prep for the second half of the season and take over as the #1 star of the Cardinals starting staff.
The road trip is seeing Martinez start in Arizona. Very good. So last time through, you can see these starters going a little bit deeper into games. That includes Luke Weaver in Game 1. He went 8 innings last night. It was John Gant. Jeff Samardzija goes for the San Francisco Giants today. He returns off the DL. A sunny Saturday in San Francisco. And we have baseball coming up on Fox Sports Midwest. Brought to you by Budweiser. Wherever legendary MLB moments happen, Budweiser will be there. And by Chevrolet, the #1 selling brand in the St. Louis area. Find yours at your Mid-America Chevy dealer. Well, partner, I'm not sure you could draw it up much better than this. This is an incredible setting for baseball.
Just beautiful. There could be a problem with fly balls in the outfielders, the middle infielders maybe. The conditions here, very, very sunny. A bright sunshine and wind blowing out to right center field.
Mike Matheny and the Cardinals have split the first 2 games of this series. It'll be Carpenter, Pham, and Martinez. Then Ozuna, DeYoung, and Fowler. Colton Wong, Francisco Pena, and the pitcher batting ninth, Carlos Martinez. Jeff Samardzija returns from the DL to make his first start since May 29th. He's been out with shoulder tightness, so just like Cueto the other day, Now they return Samardzija to their rotation, and we'll see what he's got.
Rugged year for Jeff. 4 losses in a row. Has not pitched since May 29th.
There's a look at his Hyundai pitch arsenal. I watched him get loose today, Tim, down in their bullpen. He actually started about 45 minutes ago, and that was by design to get him really loose and try to get ready for the first inning, which have been problems for him. He's given up 10 earned in 8 first innings this year.
He left that game on May 29th in Colorado with shoulder tightness. Took a long time to return. Good curveball there.
0-2 on Carpenter. Hit number 16, had 2 walks on Friday night, 16th home run. That was the 13th game with 2 or more walks for Carpenter. And the 0-2 pitch. In the air out to center. Hernandez backing up, and he'll make the catch. Slater, Hernandez, McCutcheon in the outfield. Around the horn presented by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Sandoval, Crawford, Hansen, and Belt along the infield. Nick Hundley, the starter behind the plate.
The wind even affecting that ball to Hernandez.
That carried a lot further than I thought it was going to.
It did. I agree.
Here's Tommy Pham, 2 for 8 in the series. Curveball taken just a bit high. He's hitting .251 with 13 home runs. Tommy really carried the Cardinals offensively the first 5 to 6 weeks of this regular season. Got cold for a pair of months and now has picked it up again. That's a byproduct, though, of Mike Matheny staying with him. You know, he is the everyday guy. That was not the case in his previous big league seasons. 3-1. 70 degrees here in San Francisco. Sunny and absolutely beautiful.
Tommy Pham's going to get a fastball right here. Trying to make it be his pitch.
Out of play. Cincinnati leading again over the Chicago Cubs. That series at Wrigley, it's 5-2 midway through that ball game. Cardinals 7.5 games out at the start of play. Ground ball to short. Brandon Crawford. 2 outs. Jose Martinez. Cardinals will finish up the series tomorrow, off day on Monday, and then head to Chicago. A brief 2-game set with the White Sox, another off day, then 3 with the Reds, and the All-Star break will be here. And after the break, it's a sprint to the finish.
Cardinals are used to going to the north side of Chicago. This will be on the south side. The White Sox for 2 games.
Nice seat there for Colton Wong.
Colton Wong driving in both runs last night.
That's hit out to left. Slater is over and makes the catch. So the Cardinals go in order. And Carlos Martinez to the mound when we come back. The Giants and Cardinals. A beautiful day here in San Francisco. 4.5 games out. And this will be the lineup that Carlos Martinez will face here momentarily. But Carlos, last 2 starts, we highlighted that in the open. Came off the DL, looked a little shaky. Velocity was down. There's his Hyundai pitch arsenal, but we know when he's right, he can be very tough.
And one of the tougher pitches in baseball. I think the one thing about Carlos, he needs to control his surroundings, not to have things unravel as quickly as he sometimes does. So control for Carlos, not only control of the pitches, but control of his surroundings also.
In the top spot in their lineup, Gorkys Hernandez. Chase Darno was called up from AAA. Joe Panic, by the way, put on the DL after the strain of his groin last night.
Almost hit Gorkys Hernandez. Martinez leads the National League in hit batsmen with 10.
Hernandez, Hansen a switch hitter, then McCutchen, Belt, Crawford, Sandoval, Hundley, Slater, and Samardzija. The Giants batting order today for game number 3. The 2-1 pitch popped up. Pena throws the mask. Watch out, Lynn playing tricks with it, and there to bail him out. Matt Carpenter, nice play.
Glad we talked about the elements here at AT&T Park. They can be nasty. That's the one thing that they have here that they had a candlestick too. Pena on it, drifting back, and fortunately Matt Carpenter right there to make the play.
You probably have caught a million of those, and they're not easy from a catcher's perspective.
No, I would have preferred that the third baseman come in and catch the ball.
Come on in and take it, right?
Yeah, take everything. Yeah. Now I'm wandering around back there like Pena. It's tough.
Got to throw the mask. I was worried he was going to trip over his helmet.
Yeah, almost threw the mask in Carpenter's direction.
Yes. A ball and a strike on Hansen. He's played left field and second base in this series. Good pitch. Go back to that play.
Well, a catcher tries to find the ball and not release the mask too quickly. He stepped right over that mask. That could be very, very serious when you're trying to track down a fly ball.
Martinez backing up, flips to the other Martinez. And by the way, no relation, if you're wondering.
No, from different countries.
That's right. Ozuna, Pham, and Fowler in the outfield. Around the horn, presented by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Carpenter, DeYoung, Wong, and Martinez on the infield, and Pena behind the plate. Andrew McCutchen had the game-winning hit last night. Cardinals pitched around the man in front of him, Buster Posey. Decided to roll the dice with McCutchen, and he made him pay.
It's funny how you could play with numbers in this game. McCutchen with a game-winning hit last night, and yet he's 2 for his last 20.
That's right. Take it even further, it's something like 4 for his last 29 or 30.
Yeah.
And the 1-1. Base hit into right field.
Best way to come out of a slump is to try to hit the ball the other way. Why? Because when you do that, your front shoulder is in there. Front shoulder, one of the primary keys to good hitting for a left-hander or a right-hander. Or, for that matter, a pitcher. Pitchers throw the ball like hitters approach the ball. Front shoulder, vital.
Brandon Belt hitless in the series, 0 for 7. Well, Mike Matheny trying any which way to get Jose Martinez his bat in the lineup. Today it's Dexter Fowler, and it comes at the expense of Jerko and lesser defense. You know, you think about Martinez at first base, then moving Carpenter to third. It's not as good of a defensive team today, but you might get more offense.
And in many ways,
know.
It's not. Yeah, because you're taking Jed Jerko out of there.
Right.
He's hit for the cycle here. 2 singles, a double, a triple, and a home run in 2 games. So tough.
Here's a 1-0 pitch. And Bell trying to bunt against the shift.
That's an interesting play, because had Bell not bunted that ball, it may have hit him.
Or gone to the backstop.
Yeah. Could have been a wild pitch. Look how far inside it is.
I think if you're a left-handed batter at times, you have to do that. You have to at least put the threat out there, bunting.
It's a gift.
Two balls and a strike. Crawford on deck. Mentioned the Cardinals 7.5 back in the Central. Milwaukee has won 5 straight. Good changeup, delayed steal it looked like, and that's into center field. No one at the bag at third. So the stolen base for McCutchen, his 7th of the year.
Now, what happens on a delayed steal? You're stealing off the second baseman or the shortstop. The guys have to cover immediately. Pena, with the left-handed batter up there, couldn't see the delayed steal. So the delay by Pena and the overthrow, and McCutchen's at third. It is right there. Yeah, I'm not sure Martinez knew that McCutchen took off. He was surprised when Pena threw the ball to second base. That was odd.
And so that's an error on Pena. It's a tough error.
Yeah. Got that throw to the third base side, and McCutchen had no problem going to third base. Ball sailed a little bit on Colton Wong at second.
The 2-2 pitch. Outside.
That's kind of what I was talking about. I mean, control your surroundings. Don't let things unravel. Kind of a slight bit of unraveling already with the delayed steal, 2-out hit, now full count to Belt.
3-2 pitch, pulled foul. You don't see a lot of delayed steals in the game today, and I'm sure by design Bruce Bochy may be thinking what you're thinking. Let's try to get him unnerved.
Absolutely. Well, it's a good time to delay steal with the left-handed batter up there, because the catcher can't see the runner at first base delaying the steal.
Foul back. Bell with 13 home runs in the middle of a long-term deal here with the San Francisco Giants. 3-2 pitch again. Popped up left side. Carpenter, he's there and makes the catch.
Nice play.
Couple of tough catches for Carpenter here in the first. 2012, Jeff Samardzija on that list. It's pretty good pitchers on that list. Ozuna, DeYoung, and Fowler for the Cardinals. As many of you know, Jeff attended the University of Notre Dame, played both baseball and football, was an All-American wide receiver.
He chose the right sport.
Health reasons.
For longevity, I think anybody'd say that. Pitcher in baseball going to last a lot longer than a wide receiver or a tight end in football.
Here's a 1-0 pitch. I think now with the growing concerns of CTE that we hear so much about with the concussions of players, and he's also been paid quite well.
Yes.
With a guaranteed contract in baseball. That's fouled back by Ozuna. That to me is still the amazing part of football when you talk about the business side. The bonuses, they come to you. That's yours. But after that, nothing really guaranteed.
Guarantees a big word that is distinguished between the two sports.
Little flare into right and foul.
That's the thing about Ozuna's at bats, and what's disturbing is he forces himself into situations where he has to swing at pitchers' pitches. Instead of getting a 1-0, 2-0, 2-1, 3-1 count to where you know what's coming, something predictable, and you can hammer away. Seems like it is often 2 strikes against him.
And the 1-2. Check swing, and he went. First strikeout for Samardzija. Well, we saw the return of Paul DeYoung last night. Picked up a hit. His return could be very, very big for the Cardinals.
Oh, sure.
Now it's come at the expense of Jairo Munoz, who really did a admirable job filling in for DeYoung.
Outstanding. Your question to Mike Matheny last night, he said Jairo's best position is center field other than shortstop.
Popped up, shading from the sun, Crawford, and he makes the catch. And you may see Munoz maybe in right field or center or left. He can play all 3 outfield spots, can play all over the infield. And the National League, with all the double switches, and you have that kind of versatility, you'll stick.
Yeah.
It was odd today. Dexter Fowler, we get to the ballpark very early, and at about 9:30, 10 o'clock, Dexter Fowler just went out to the home plate area and just stood there with a bat. Looked at the backdrop. No swings, just stood there. And the 0-1 pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike. I think when you're 7.5 games out at this point in the season, and certainly it's not do or die time yet, but there's more pressure now than in April and May. I think if you hit, Mike Matheny's going to play you, and that's probably what you will see in the right field situation that they're currently in, at least for the moment.
Is it Dexter Fowler or Harrison Bader?
Or Jose Martinez, Jairo Munoz. Here's a 1-2 pitch to Fowler. Inside. Bader has done a really nice job as a starter, and certainly in the first 2 games of this series, especially defensively.
Yeah, well, if Fowler continues the futility from the right side, Bader's going to start against all left-handers.
Yes. The 2-2. And a fly ball that's lifted into shallow center. And the catch made.
Easy. We've already talked about the Carlos Martinez that the Cardinals want to see and want to control the game, control the surroundings, and the control of the pitches will come.
Crawford, Sandoval, and Hundley. It's hard to believe this, but this is only the second start ever at AT&T Park for Carlos Martinez. Been around, 6 years now, and this is only his second start in San Francisco.
Became a starter in 2014, I believe, right?
Yep. That'll carry to Tommy Pham, and the catch made. Pablo Sandoval, home run number 7 last night. Took a pitch the other way.
They remember the first game of the World Series in 2012 when in the opening game when Sandoval had 3 home runs. 2 against Justin Verlander, I believe, right?
Yes.
Who's back to his old form in Houston.
Into right, Fowler with the catch. Houston has got some kind of staff. Garrett Cole, Verlander, Keuchel. List goes on. And Keuchel is not even the form that he was a couple of years ago. Still good, but Houston 59-31 and a 2.5 game lead in front of Seattle.
How about Charlie Morton, 10-2
yes.
for that ball club?
Here's Nick Hundley.
One of the very tough jobs in baseball is for organizations to find a backup catcher. And the Giants need one more than the Cardinals, for instance, because Yachty catches all the time. Buster Posey is given a day off today. Nick Hundley's caught 31 games. That's a lot for a backup catcher.
You did that. You also were a starter. Did both. Trying to stay sharp, not an easy thing to do. I would assume.
No, it's not. I'll verify that.
Here's a 1-2 pitch to Hundley. And a base hit into center. Whole new ball game with RBI Baseball 18. RBI Baseball 18 delivers an all-new franchise mode and much more. RBI Baseball 18 available now. Learn more at RBIGame.com. Rated E for everyone. Austin Slater, the left fielder. Young man from Stanford.
Right down the road in Palo Alto.
Keith Hernandez was supposed to go to Stanford and fell into the laps of the St. Louis Cardinals
as a 37th round draft choice or something like that.
Incredible.
I think I'd have chosen
Stanford.
even though Keith did pretty well.
Pretty darn good player.
Pretty good player is right. Best first baseman defensively that I have ever seen.
I agree. MVP in '79, shared that with Willie Stargell. Off the glove of Martinez, and Wong will take it himself to the bag at second. We played 2, and there's no score here in San Francisco. All-Star game. It'll be July 17th, only on Fox. And we check in with Erica Weston. Erica, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Dan. I had a chance to catch up with Colton Wong, who leads off this inning earlier today. In the last 12 games, Wong has 5 extra base hits and 7 RBI. He's also batting above 200 for the first time this season since early May. He told me that Mike Matheny's been doing a good job getting him against the right-handed pitchers. He's been working with John Mabry and maybe what he's been doing wrong at the plate. He also talked about how valuable the return of Paul DeJong to the lineup was last night. Also adding on the defensive side, saying they got together early this season to help build that camaraderie on the field. He said the team has been carrying him this season, so he was happy to contribute last night.
Had a couple of hits, drove in both runs for the Cardinals. And he can look up and see the average above 200. It's at 203.
Off the interstate. Players refer to the interstate when they're hitting 1-something. And 1-something on July 7th is not acceptable, and Colton knows that.
Talk about it a lot. Give him credit. His defense has been well above average. The curveball at times from Samardzija has been pretty good today.
It has.
1 ball and 2 strikes on Colton Wong, then Pena and Martinez. And a fly ball lifted into shallow left, and a diving attempt by Slater, and Wong is aboard with a hit.
Now it's given a base hit, but I'm not sure Slater had to dive for that ball. I think you make that play standing up. Sometimes diving, when you dive, your eyes don't center the ball. That ball hitting off the heel of the glove.
Here's Pena. Sometimes, by the way, Mike Matheny will put a hit and run on with this combination.
That's the second time Colton Wong has had a hit like that. He had one like that last night.
Wong is running, and it's a stolen base. Number 3.
That was a good call, partner. That may have been a situation where if that pitch is a strike, Pena may have swung at it. That ball was inside. Wong's at second. That's stolen base number 3 on the year.
Two balls and no strikes on Pena. Hit to the left side. Crawford to first. Nice base running there by Wong.
Now I was thinking the same thing. A rule of thumb, if you're the runner on at second base, you don't know where the shortstop is. So if the ball is hit at you or to your left, you go to third. If it's hit to your right, you stay at second. You've got to assume the shortstop will go to his right, make the play, and throw you out at third base. That's why you don't run on a ball to your right, but do run on a ball to your left.
Martinez can handle the bat. 231 the average. Infield is drawn in by the Giants. Chops hit high over Sandoval, and it's 1-0 Cardinals. Martinez on his way to second base and hustling in with a double.
Cardinals are hopeful that he touched first base.
I think he did, but it was close.
It was eeky.
Yep. Eeky is not a word, I don't think.
No, it's not.
But we all get the meaning of it.
Oh, yeah. Eeky. Ball almost hit the plate. Look at that high hop. A double from Martinez. And the Cardinals take the lead. That's the value of a good base runner, making a trip around the bases. A stolen base, going to third on a ball where a lot of guys would stay there. Then you bring Sandoval in. That makes the hop over his head doable. And a double for Martinez. But that's why base running is such an underdeveloped art for most major league runners, particularly in the day of the home run or walk or strikeout.
Tim, it's pressure, it's movement.
Animation.
Yes. Here's a 1-0 pitch now to Carpenter. Shift on for him. Martinez can get a pretty sizable lead there at second base with this shift. Crawford is basically at the outfield grass behind the bag. Carpenter is 0 for 1 on the day. 3-0 the count.
There is no organization that knows animation on defense and offense like the Cardinals of the 80s. During that decade when Whitey Herzog took over for Kenny Boyer. Kenny died in 81 or 2, I think 81. Whitey took over as a general manager and manager, and he developed that ball club on the artificial surface. Got Willie McGee, Ozzie Smith, Vince Coleman, ultimately Tito Landrum. Even the extra men could run on that team. And that's what you saw, animation.
Terry Pendleton.
Tommy Herr.
It's popped up. Sandoval gives it a look, and it's out of play.
Their big power guy was Jack Clark.
I think when you think of the history of the Cardinals, the 60s, great era, great decade of winning baseball. And then you think about the 1980s, and the Cardinals are in a good run right now. There's Willie right there. But the names and the way that they played the game was so entertaining, and it was wonderful for the fans. Now, you had a Hall of Famer in Ozzie Smith, but if there's anybody that played defense like him, I haven't seen it.
No,
it's short.
Nobody.
And Carpenter did go. It's a strikeout. He thought he walked.
There's that curveball again that you were talking about, Dan, and that's been Samardzij's best pitch so far today. All those fastballs and now the curveball, and Matt went too far.
I asked Whitey what he was most proud of in his career, and he said the fact that we drew and got back to 3 million coming through the turnstiles. That we had this exciting brand of baseball as fam is hurt.
That ball came off the ground, I think, and hit him in the left hand. I'm not sure.
May have come up and not hit the wrist or the hand, but an area of the body that Yadier Molina knows all too well. And I think you get my drift.
Well,
he was hit there.
Well, you have to wonder whether Tommy Pham has a cup on or not. A lot of outfielders do not wear cups, and that means they're vulnerable on balls coming up like that. I think you're right. I think that's where it hit Tommy. Of course, that shot that Yadi took was horrible. Jordan Hicks was the pitcher that night. That's the problem with the catcher. Obviously, all catchers wear cups for protection. That ball coming up and in the back of the cup where you're not protected, and it does not appear that Tommy was protected. I asked Bruce Sutter if he wore a cup when he pitched. He said, I used to wear a cup watching the game of the week. Isn't that a great line?
Now that's funny.
It is hilarious.
The strike on Pham, and it's 0-2.
I was at the fantasy camp in Cooperstown with Ozzie Smith and Bruce Sutter, and we were talking about cups and about how, you know, I never went on the field without a cup because I was a catcher. But I asked Bruce about wearing a cup. He said he wore one when he watched the game of the week.
What a great conversation you guys must have had.
Hey, players talk like that. What are you going to do?
Three Hall of Famers getting together and talking about cups.
Ozzie didn't. Just Bruce and me.
Okay. Hey, how's life going? Your family doing well? Yeah, great. How about you? Awesome. Did you wear a cup? What? Only with you do I get these stories.
It just happened 2 weeks ago. It was really fun. The fantasy camp, Joe Pfeiffer, Larry Merchant, all the guys in the Cardinal front office that handles that stuff. They are just terrific and get it. Bruce and I were talking about it, and Ozzie too, about getting to see Cooperstown in a different light.
And you putting on a glove you hadn't worn for 50 years
That's
almost.
Right. 49, that's right.
The 2-2 pitch now to Tommy Pham. And he struck him out. So back-to-back strikeouts for Samardzija. The RBI double by Martinez. It's 1-0. Our Budweiser What's on Tap. Jack Flaherty, Madison Bumgarner. Good matchup. Will come your way at 2:30, the finale of this series on Fox Sports Midwest. The Budweiser What's on Tap. That's a good one tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
The Giants, when they first got to San Francisco, was in 1958. They played 2 seasons at Seals Stadium, which at one point was the AAA home of the Red Sox affiliate in the PCL. Then they moved to Candlestick, which is about 6.5 miles away from where we're at, and that looked over the San Francisco Bay. 1962, they played in the World Series, did not make another appearance until 1989.
Willie McCovey's line drive caught by Bobby Richardson for the last out of the game in the bottom of the 9th inning. Matter of fact, the Giants had back-to-back rookies of the year. Cepeda in 58, McCovey in 59, and both of them were Hall of Famers. Back-to-back rookie of the years, both of them went in the Hall.
Gloved by Wong, and he flips to first for the out. So Samardzija out number one in the home half of the third. We're at AT&T today, and this is located in the south of Market neighborhood of San Francisco at 24 Willie Mays Plaza. And that's Willie McCovey, McCovey Cove. Barry Bonds hit the first ever splash hit.
How about this for a debut? Willie McCovey was Rookie of the Year that year, of course, as we said. His opening game for the Giants at Seal Stadium, he had 2 triples.
Is that right?
Yeah. His debut. I think he had 4 hits that night.
Wow.
And that's why there's a McCovey Cove beyond right field.
The wall in right, 24 feet high. Mentioned last night how in 1992 the team nearly moved to Tampa Bay, and it was Peter McGowan who bought the team and saved them from moving.
He brought in Larry Baer, who is now the president of the Giants, and we have given Larry and the Giants many accolades in our 2+ games here in San Francisco. They don't make mistakes. They are quite an organization.
And he went a strikeout of Gorkys Hernandez.
That was alert by Francisco Pena.
Really sold it too.
He did. I mean, he immediately pointed to the first base umpire.
Orlando Cepeda, great to have him at the ballpark the other night. Traded to St. Louis for Ray Sadecki. First year in St. Louis, becomes the comeback player of the year. MVP in 67. And a fly ball into shallow left center, and the catch made by Ozuna. 9-pitch inning for Carlos Martinez. Finals on Fox. Coverage begins at noon Tuesday. France takes on Belgium. And the World Cup will be seen live on Fox or stream it on the Fox Sports app. Along with Tim McCarver, I'm Dan McLaughlin. Erica Weston here as well. It's Martinez, Ozuna, and DeYoung. Carlos Martinez, an RBI double back in the third inning. 1-0 our score. My partner, October 17th of 1989, a date that no one will forget. This area.
5:04 p.m.
The Bay Bridge Series, Oakland, San Francisco. You were on the call for the World Series with Al Michaels, Jim Palmer, I believe,
Yes,
as well.
Right.
Earthquake hits. Horrible. A's would win that. Tony La Russa had a world championship.
A's had used only 2 starters in that series. And the reason for that was the delay in between allowed Tony La Russa to come back with his first 2 starters.
Tony had lost. They were heavily favored in '88 against the Dodgers, the Kirk Gibson home run. They win in '89, and then in '90 swept by Cincinnati. Eric Davis had a remarkable series.
Big guy in '88 for the Oakland A's was Jose Canseco. He had 1 hit in the World Series, and that was a grand slam at Dodger Stadium in Game 1.
In the air to center. Hernandez with the catch. 1 away. Martinez 0 for 2, and it brings in Marcell Ozuna.
There are some things that really catch your eye when you follow baseball on a day-to-day basis. We do it. It's our business. And I know you folks in St. Louis and surrounding areas do it because it's fun and you get attached to these players. But we talked about Ozuna and how he always seems to hit with 2 strikes. He's batting only 190 with 2 strikes on him this year. So it's more important for him to stay ahead than it is most guys. But listen to this. There are 2 players in baseball now, today, that are hitting over 300 with 2 strikes. 2. One is Andrelton Simmons, the fine shortstop defensively for the Los Angeles Angels. He's hitting 347. Mookie Betts is hitting 326. They are the only 2 guys batting over 300 with 2 strikes on them. Staggering, isn't it?
It is, and the game is played today where deep counts are encouraged, which means that you're going to get to 2 strikes at some point.
They're encouraged with hitting instructors throughout the major leagues, but I don't think it's the right approach.
Ozuna muscles that one into left. That's a 2-strike hit. So just 2 batters in all of baseball with 2 strikes hitting above 300.
Right.
That's staggering.
And I would imagine the average for most hitters probably 230, something like that, 232 or 3. But it just shows you how important it is for hitters to stay ahead of pitchers, and vice versa if you're a pitcher to stay ahead of the hitters.
Sure. Paul DeYoung, the batter. Popped out to short, first time up.
The league average in the National League, 171 with 2 strikes.
So if you hear that, then
why do you go up and take the first pitch for a strike?
Change the approach.
Couldn't agree with you more, partner.
One ball, 1 strike.
I mean, how would John Miller deliver that one?
Thank you. swing the bat. I mean, if you got to the 170, let's get it to 200. I mean, Mendoza didn't go to the Hall of Fame. You're not either at 171. So swing it. And if you go into second, you're hey.
Oh, that's my favorite. Danny is a man of 1,000 voices. None better than John Miller.
And if I can, if Jim Hayes is listening, and I know he is, you come to San Francisco, you don't get Chinese. I mean, there's all kinds of places. Italian, steakhouses, but Chinese, takeout, takeout. You can't have takeout. There's a base hit into right, and Ozuna on his way to third. Hey!
Oh, that's terrific. And the funny thing is that John, there's no better guy to mimic other announcers than John Miller.
He's unbelievable.
He is.
He's awesome.
He would be just floored and thankful that you just spent 2.5 minutes.
I hope so.
No, it was wonderful. Oh, yeah. Well, you know, he's such a good friend, such a great announcer in the Hall of Fame.
It's tremendous.
It's great.
Runners at the corners now for Fowler. And he lifts a fly ball out to left. Ozuna will tag up from third. The throw to the plate is not in time, and Dexter Fowler drives in a run to make it 2-0.
No, and Paul DeYoung should be at second base. RBI number 21 on the year by Dexter Fowler. It ain't much, but it's a start.
Here's Colton Wong. Singled off the glove of the left fielder Slater, was trying to make a diving catch in left. I remember covering a Cardinal playoff series out here, Tim, and I was in the bleachers in left. That's where they put the media. I had it tuned into John Miller, and I just closed my eyes for an inning, and everything, the picture was painted beautifully. Samardzija, I'm going to call him out, but the Cardinals will take a look at this, and the Giant defenders don't even start moving towards the dugout. Well, I think they believe that he's safe.
I sure thought he was safe. But on that play before, when that throws over the cutoff man's head from Slater in left field to Sandoval, Paul DeYoung's got to be at second base. Every time. Yeah, he's safe.
Boy, Samardzija made that close, and a pretty good bunt by Wong.
A barehanded play.
Yeah.
When you pick it up like that, it's got to be in the throwing fingers, the middle finger, the index finger, and the thumb. And he was safe. That's an easy call.
By the way, that RBI for Fowler is first since May 31st. Wow. Boy, he clearly was safe.
Mm-hmm.
It brings in Pena. Now, I went down the Jim Hayes road on John Miller because he was accosted for having takeout Chinese food here.
Takeout Chinese in one of the great restaurant cities in the world.
And John Miller pulled him aside and backed him in a corner and gave him about a 20-minute lecture on why you don't have takeout in San Francisco. mean, John was, he was pretty fired up about it.
Jimmy hanging on our every word today. You had a phone call from him before the game.
Oh, yeah. He was giving you a little trouble, wasn't he?
Yes, he was.
Felt like a normal day. The 0-2 pitch.
We loved it.
And that is a base hit into right. Here comes DeYoung. The throw to third is cut off, and Francisco Pena serves it into right, and it's 3-0 Cardinals.
We've got the base hit by DeYoung, the bunt base hit by Wong, and Paul DeYoung scoring on the play. RBI number 7 on the year for Pena. Right off the end of the bat, and Francisco will take it.
And you bring in Martinez, who doubled first time up.
How appropriate is that? Francisco and San Francisco with an RBI.
It's a stretch, but I'm with you.
It's a stretch.
It's a stretch. It's a stretch.
So?
And that's into right. The catch is made. I didn't say I didn't like it, but it's a stretch. Baseball is brought to you by Missouri Baptist Medical Center. Doctors call it world-class medicine. You'll call it Mobap. And by Toyota, let's go places. That shot right there, Tim, that was done before the game by Keith O'Brien with his cell phone. How nice is that? Look at that beautiful
Getting a lot
shot.
of mileage out of your cell phone.
But look how steady and beautiful the shot is. Nicely done, Keith O'Brien.
Yes.
Well, the Cardinals now a 3-0 lead, and it's McCutchen, Belt, and Crawford. So you grew up in Memphis. I grew up in St. Louis.
Right.
So I grew up on Jack Buck and Mike Shannon. And I guess you would listen to Harry Carey a lot.
Harry and Jack Buck and Buddy Blattner.
Oh, yeah.
Joe Garagiola. Harry Carey's first year was 1946 when he worked with Gabby Street. Then Jack Buck came along, the great Jack Buck, the great Harry Carey. What a crew of announcers have graced St. Louis through the years, and just the phenomenal job done by KMOX.
Yes. grew the fan base with the reach of the signal. Carpenter makes the play. Alex Reyes invites you to join him on the upcoming Cardinals cruise. The Mexican Riviera. Also on board will be other Cardinal players, Fred Bird and front office executives. Space, it's always limited, one-of-a-kind experience. Autograph and Q&A sessions, cardinals.com/cruise for info. You know, the Cardinals were the furthest team west for so many years.
That's why their fan base in the 50s and 60s reached as far west as Denver. And then the Dodgers took over, of course. San Francisco moving from the Polo Grounds in New York City. Horace Stoneham was the owner. And in 1958, they played their first year on the left coast. And Walter O'Malley, of course, the owner of the Dodgers. 1958, they played in the Coliseum until 1960, when Chavez Ravine was built, and that ballpark looks brand new to this day.
Pristine.
It really is.
Yeah, Walter O'Malley was not allowed to leave unless he had a second team that would join him.
Right.
That's into right, and Fowler cannot make the catch. The Polo Grounds, north of Central Park in Harlem and Upper Manhattan, if you're familiar with the geography of New York.
Coogan's Bluff. It's a marker now, right across from the new Yankee Stadium. And it's 2,925 miles from here.
So they played there until the close of the '57 season. They looked at Minnesota, but the Washington Senators wound up there as the Minnesota Twins.
They moved from our nation's capital.
Our esteemed director Tom Mee, his father was the first team employee of the Minnesota Twins.
Really? I didn't know that.
And is in their Hall of Fame. And a library that is named after Tom Mee Sr. at Target Field. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Crawford.
That's a good tight slider in on the hands of Crawford from Martinez.
What have you thought of Carlos today?
Well, he's done what our keys said he should do. Not that that's the important thing, but there's such peace and control surrounding Carlos today, and we have seen times when he started when that was not the case.
And a little bit low. 1-2. Miss with the slider. 2-2. Out of play. We've been talking a lot about the stretch that the Cardinals are in. The Giants beginning a tough stretch of baseball. And they're going to find out just how good they truly are by the end of this month with the competition they will face. But as you said it right, all comes out in the wash. The 2-2 pitch. In on his hands and a foul ball. So in the West, it's a tight group. Arizona by 1 game in front of the Dodgers. They picked it up after a very slow start. Colorado and the Giants 3.5 out, and San Diego 11.5 back. And the 2-2 pitch. Fly ball lifted out to Dexter Fowler. He makes the catch. You may remember this game last May. It was a nationally televised Saturday afternoon in St. Louis, and Carlos Martinez was terrific. 9 innings, 2 hits, but he took a no decision. It started to rain. There was a long rain delay. And they eventually lost 3-1 in 13.
It was one of the best 9-inning performances from Carlos Martinez in his career.
What do you think the league average is on a 2-0 count? We're talking about 2 strikes. 2-0 count, 343. 1 ball, 1 strike. And that just furthers your point of trying to control the count as both a hitter and a pitcher.
Sure.
The numbers just don't lie.
Truly the fight, the mano-a-mano that takes place on a daily basis in Major League Baseball, the pitcher and the hitter. It's the essence of the origin of the combat.
One and 2. Sandoval at one point in his career was a catcher and then moved to the infield. One ball and 2 strikes. Brandon Belt, the runner at first base. The 2-2 pitch. Popped him up. Who wants it? They're all looking at each other. It'll be Carlos Martinez with the catch.
Signed as a shortstop, and he showed why.
Made the play.
Yeah.
Coming up, the top of the lineup, Carpenter, Pham, and Jose Martinez. All right, Scott Warman, thank you. Top of 5, and it's 3-0. Here's Carpenter. And he is 0 for 2. Fly to center and struck out. I've been meaning to ask you something.
Oh my gosh.
Don't give me that.
Is this going to be one of those controversial answers, or where I'm stuck one way or the other?
No, it's easy. You go yes, no, and then expand on it if you wish.
Go ahead.
Have you ever met Bill Walton?
I have.
I'd love to go to lunch with you and Bill Walton. I do. I want to, because he's off the wall, and I think you'd fit perfectly with him.
I love Bill Walton. I sat next to Bill Walton on a coast-to-coast trip about 10 years ago. He was fascinating.
Where were you guys going?
It's kind of personal, isn't it, Dan? We were going coast to coast.
That's not personal.
Well, we were going coast to coast. I don't know. LA to New York. I don't know where it was. But he is a fascinating guy. You're right. You would like to dine with Bill Walton.
And you. I want you in there too.
I think Bill, I think Bill alone would be enough. I don't think you need me in that group.
No, I want you there, though.
Well, okay. What? How'd you come up with that?
Well, I was thinking about Bill Walton and analysts that I enjoy listening to, and sometimes they bring up things that don't necessarily, flow with what's happening with the game. Not in a bad way. They like sometimes you'll say, Dan, I was thinking about this, and it may not have anything to do with the game. We start talking about it.
Well, I try not to do that.
No. Rarely do you do it.
Yeah. Well, I'm very sensitive to that. The game is the thing, and we're paid to point things out that people may not have thought about.
Correct.
As Walton does also. There's always a connection. Just that the connection is, as you said about San Francisco, that's a reach. Now, see, I don't think that something like that's a reach. I think it's fun. A little play on words.
It was a reach.
All right.
Let's set up that lunch.
You're almost like an agent at times. You want to meet Al Michaels.
Yep.
You want to meet Bill Walton now. He's on that list. Anybody else?
Simon.
Paul Simon. How in the world am I going to get in touch with Paul Simon? I don't even know the guy.
Look,
I'm a big fan of his also. That has nothing to do. I mean, you can be a fan of somebody's and not have contacts with him.
Well, what we're going to do.
My partner, Dan McLaughlin, wants to have lunch with you. Well, how many people do you think want to have lunch with Paul Simon?
I don't care about them. I care about my lunch with Paul Simon.
Yeah.
So set it up.
Handle it.
It's not hard. Just take care of it. Back in safely is Tommy Pham. What we'll tell him is that it's a one-time only Tim McCarver show, and we'll set up a studio, and if he wants to come and play, we'll highly encourage it. It'll take you down memory lane of Simon and Garfunkel and some of his new stuff.
I'll tell you who is a huge Phillies fan from Queens.
Art Garfunkel.
Art Garfunkel.
Yeah.
That's correct. How did you know that?
I know things, Tim.
I think I may have told you.
No, you didn't.
No,
No, not this one. You've told me a lot, and I've retained a lot from you. Some I've discarded. Matter of fact, a lot I've discarded, but that one you did not tell me.
Didn't know you knew that.
Sure.
It's unusual being from Queens, New York, and being a Philadelphia Phillies fan. But he is.
That's whacked into center and a base hit. Here come the Cardinals again with 2 runners on. Walk to Pham and a base hit by Martinez. And the batter will be Marcell Ozuna.
That was a hanging curveball from Samardzija, who had good luck with that pitch earlier in the game. That ball just sat there like it was on a tee.
This would be interesting in this at bat. Ozuna saw, I believe, one fastball in the first at bat, and there was just breaking stuff the entire time. And they've gone with a lot of curveballs to him the first 2 plate appearances of the afternoon. See if they stick with that plan. Reyes Maranta, you really like his stuff. We saw him last night.
I like him a lot. A lot.
And it's fouled back.
This is the first time that Samardzija has faced Ozuna with runners on base. And I might add that it's tougher for a pitcher to throw a good curveball from the stretch than it is from the windup.
And a ground ball. Crawford to first. It's a good point, often overlooked.
It is.
So here's DeYoung. Runners at second and third. So they started the runners, and by doing so, avoided a double play.
Right.
DeYoung 1 for 2 with a single to right. And strike 1. I wonder how much Samardzija would give DeYoung to hit in this at bat with Fowler on deck and the way that he's been going.
No, I don't think. I think Samardzija pitches him like he's always pitched him. Yes, because he doesn't know the history of Dexter Fowler this year. Ends up hanging a curveball, but it's going to be the 3rd out of the inning.
Midway through 5, and it's 3-0 St. Louis.
Hats off for heroes, because no matter where you serve or when you served, we stand ready to serve all military families.
AT&T Park, the scene. We're in San Francisco, and it's 3-0. The bottom of the 5th rolls in. And the Giants will have 7, 8, and 9. Hundley, Slater, and Samardzija. Carlos Martinez, 9 of 15 first pitch strikes.
Only 3 base runners for the Giants in the first 4 innings. One was Nick Hundley.
He singled with 2 outs in the 2nd inning to center. Back to Martinez, and he makes the play. July 14th, 30,000 fans, 16 and older, take home a limited edition bobblehead, celebrating Adam Wainwright's 2017 Silver Slugger Award. 200 of the bobbleheads will be painted completely silver.
Why?
The Silver Slugger Award.
Oh. Okay.
And that's coming up Saturday, July 14th. Hunter Pence at the on-deck circle. If you want one, I probably could pull some strings.
We'll pull them.
You want the silver one?
Yes.
Done deal. There's a strike.
Big league whip out.
You want that beautiful silver-plated bobblehead.
Signed by Adam.
Now you want it signed.
Yeah, of course.
You didn't say that.
Well,
I certainly will put in the request.
I mean, if you want to have lunch with Paul Simon,
I think mine's an easy request.
I think, yeah, right.
Getting a silver bobblehead with Wainwright's signature may not be as easy. I'll try my best.
With Adam, I think you can handle that.
I think it's a pretty good shot. It's going to get done. Adam Wainwright, first ever plate appearance was at this ballpark, and he hit a home run. The 2-2 pitch out of play.
Well, speaking of pitchers who can hit, we're going to see one tomorrow. Madison Bumgarner. 17 career home runs.
Answer for you already.
What is the answer?
I've been given a text by the great Adam Wainwright.
Oh.
Very simply says $25.
Deal.
It's a deal.
That's a deal and a steal. I love it.
He is one of the all-time greats in Cardinals history.
Yeah, as far as helping people.
Amazing.
It really is. There are a lot of guys that do things for people, they have foundations and different groups. But Adam has been there. He's been to Africa. He's been to South America.
I would encourage everyone to go to his foundation name. It's Big League Impact. And if you go to the website, you see the videos and the hands-on work that he's doing to build a hospital, drinking water, clean drinking water.
Drinking water.
Something you don't even think about.
No.
But it saves so many lives. And Adam is to be commended. And I hope before it's all said and done that Major League Baseball would recognize him with the Clemente Award, which is a very special honor.
Yes, it is. Given every year at the World Series.
So Hunter Pence will pinch hit for Samardzija. Goes 5 innings. Pence had a key hit as a pinch hitter last night. John Brebbia hung a slider, and eventually Pence singled, came around to score, and that was the winning run. Derek Holland throwing in the Giants bullpen. 3-0 the count on Pence. Three and one. Whacked into center, but Pham is there. He'll make the catch. And a 1-2-3 inning for Carlos Martinez. We head to inning number 6, and it's 3-0 Cardinals. Produced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals. 3-0 our score on a beautiful day here in San Francisco. Derek Holland into the ball game, pitched in game 1. He's gone from the rotation, bumped to the bullpen. Had a good attitude about it too. He said, no problem, I'll do whatever is needed for the team. And certainly you appreciate that. Here's Fowler batting from the right side of the plate. There's an RBI back in inning number 4. Twice he has flied to left. And a soft liner that's caught by Hansen at second for the first out.
Colton Wong driving in 2 runs in last night's game. The only 2 runs the Cardinals scored. And today using his legs. Stealing second base after a single to left field. And then going to third on a ground ball. That brought Sandoval in. And he scored on a Carlos Martinez double. And then he bunted his last time up. So a good afternoon for Colton Wong, followed by a good night.
The BJC Healthcare difference maker, Colton Wong. And it's 0-2.
Judging from those first 2 swings, there's no way. I don't think Holland should come inside to Colton Wong. You do him a favor.
ball and 2 strikes. Well, the Cubs picked up 4 in the 8th, and they defeat Cincinnati 8-7. Atlanta in the 5th, a 2-0 lead over Milwaukee. And that's tap foul. Pittsburgh on top of Philly 2-0, and that's in the 7th. And a 2-2 pitch to Colton Wong. Brandon Belt will take it himself, steps on the bag, and there's 2 outs.
I think one of the bigger surprises this past week, particularly in the National League, is seeing Washington fall below 500.
I don't think it's a surprise. It's shocking.
Yeah, it really is. And that's, you know, if perhaps they had the collapse of Max Scherzer, that'd be a different year. But he is having a wonderful year.
Bryce
he
Harper
might be the starter in the All-Star game in Washington.
You know, Harper's hitting around 215, 220.
Yeah.
I asked you before the series started, and we were talking a little bit about the Nationals, what it may do, in your opinion, to his value as a free agent. You know, he's still going to hit for some power, obviously. A lot of teams pitch around him, but
it's going to cost him some bucks.
Yeah.
If he, say the season's over and he lifts his average to 230, that's kind of an anti-Bryce Harper year to lift his average to 230.
His agent is Scott Boras, and he has been on a rant about shifts and how it's really affected Harper, and in his opinion, looking at the numbers and the various ways that they break it down, he believes that left-handed hitters are at an extreme disadvantage. It's part of the game now.
Well, perhaps something can be done about that during the offseason. Some changes, mild changes, but you can't dictate to defenses how they should play, particularly if the impetus of everything is from an agent. I don't care how powerful he is.
Agreed.
Scott, just keep taking you 10% and that's enough. Don't be involved in the rules of the game.
Francisco Pena with a base hit to right. And that scored Paul DeYoung. Made it 3-0 in the 4th inning, and that's our score now. Good at bat. 7-pitch at bat and a 2-out walk. Extends the inning to Martinez, so at the least you clear Martinez through.
Right.
Our Crickets something to smile about. This double over Sandoval with the infield drawn in, and brought in Colton Wong. Strike 1.
Looked like Martinez was doing a version of the paper, rock, scissors from second base.
That's the new way that the players greet each other when they get on base. Little rock, paper, scissors.
To convey that to the dugout. To whom is he doing that?
I cannot answer.
Just kind of the bench in general, or the fellows on the bench.
Sam Dyson throwing in the Giants pen. Missed on the inside corner. And the 1-2 pitch puts it in play. Crawford will step on the bag, and Cardinals are done. Here at the top of the 6th. Rock, paper, scissors. There it is. 3-0 Cardinals. Presented by Brown and Crouppen. Friday, July 13th, when the Reds are in St. Louis. And to get those tickets, cardinals.com/promotions. We're in the 6th inning. Martinez has allowed just 3 hits, and it's 3-0 Cardinals.
So much has been said, Dan, about pitchers who work 6 innings. We've had 6 straight starts where Cardinal starters have worked at least 6 innings. Martinez hoping to make it at least 7 today. But, you know, whatever happened to the starting pitcher who is his own reliever? It's almost disappearing in today's game.
That's pulled foul.
Because starting pitchers are expected to go, give us a good 6. I just think that's the wrong approach to
outside,
the game.
Tim, of the obvious, which is Bob Gibson had incredible stuff, demeanor, and everything you want in a ball player. You were behind the plate on a good majority of the 255 complete games, 251 wins. What was it about him in this kind of spot? You know, the 6th, the 7th, the 8th, especially for our younger fans that, it takes a tricky hop and pass to Young into left, that allowed him to get to that point to complete games, from your perspective?
He would look at the bullpen and tell Red Shandies, for the most part, or Johnny Keane in the early part of the 60s, and say, if the guy that you're bringing in is better than me, even though I may have 80% of what I started with today, then bring him in. If he's not, then I'm staying in the game. Bob made a lot of sense. Everybody talks about his emotions and all that, and they were extreme at times, but they're extreme for a lot of big leaguers, successful big leaguers. But if Bob didn't think the guy coming in the game was better than he was, and the guy coming in the game almost always wasn't.
Sure.
So therefore, he made his case for staying in the game. And guys were expected to pitch complete games in those days. So it's the expectations that have changed.
And a fly ball into shallow left. Ozuna with the catch. Talk about records that'll never be broken. 255 complete games. That'll never happen again. Ever.
The use of the bullpen, obviously, the metrics prove that if you face a guy, for the third time he's less effective. That's true for some guys, but not true for all.
Well, I also think it's a feel thing, where the metrics may say that, generally speaking, on a particular individual, but that particular day it may be different.
Right.
I mean, pitchers always tell you, boy, the ball was coming out well today. I had a good feel for it.
Yes.
Luke Weaver talked about that after game one. He said, I was warming up in the bullpen and it just felt great. It felt different. I had life on my fastball.
Well, you have to respect someone who tells you that if you're a manager. Believe him.
Runner goes, and Young's only play across the diamond for the out. Belt has popped out to third and also singled to right. Crawford on deck, 3-0 our score.
Martinez working very well with Francisco Pena today.
Agreed.
Great flow, great rhythm, varying his speeds and his pitches.
A ball and a strike on Brandon Belt. Pitch count at 83, which is also part of the equation of taking guys out. Hits that into right. Fowler over, and he won't get there. It's a fair ball. Hops into the stands, comes back out. And a double for Belt. Giants get on the board. Tying run comes to the plate.
Looks like a changeup that he threw to Belt. Not a bad pitch. Little up. Ball would not curve foul. Down and in, too much of the plate. 40 RBIs for Brandon Belt.
There's Crawford 0 for 2, fly to center and fly to right. And a ground ball backhanded by Martinez to Carlos and out of the jam. Giants pick up a run, and it's 3-1 as we head to the 7th. By Budweiser. Wherever legendary MLB moments happen, Budweiser will be there. By Ford, going further so you can. In San Francisco, 3-1 Cardinals, top of the 7th, rolls in. Sam Dyson, a right-hander, the new pitcher for the Giants. So Chevy called to the pen. Appearance number 43.
I didn't realize it, Dan, but a couple of years ago for Texas, Sam Dyson had 38 saves.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I mean, outstanding reliever. Not in that same category now with the Giants. He's fallen on hard times, particularly this year. 6.30 earned run average. Can change in a hurry, can it?
That's why I've heard from GMs say that balancing a bullpen year to year is the hardest thing to do. You don't know what you're going to get.
No.
A little bit low.
This is the type hitter. Pardon me, Dan. I know you got business right there.
There's a StatCast powered by AWS.
I was going to say that Sam Dyson's the type of pitcher that Matt Carpenter would hit hard. He ended up not hitting it hard, but there's certain guys that are bad matchups. But Dyson, not a hard thrower, not a heavy ball thrower, but 93 to 95. Not a lot of break on his slider. Cardinals trying to get that run back at least here in the 7th.
A ball to Tommy Pham. Gateway Honda home run inning. Gateway Honda dealers will donate $1,000 to the Make-A-Wish Foundation of Missouri if a home run is hit by a Cardinal. Two and 0 the count. In the hole, Crawford, he is smooth. Big leaguers make that look routine, and it's really anything but.
Now, among the big leaguers, he's the biggest of big leaguers. I think he's the best defensive shortstop in the game. Everything considered. You know what's not often talked about is the way he transfers the ball from the glove to the hand so quickly. He's a real mandrake at shortstop. Mandrake the magician. About whom I know nothing, by the way.
Is that right?
Mandrake the magician. I know about Harry Houdini, but not Mandrake the magician. I have no idea if Mandrake had another name, for instance.
I can't help you.
I know you can't.
I'd love to, but I can't.
You had that helpless,
I had a helpless look.
useless look on your face.
Remember when I was talking about the Bill Walton thing, where sometimes you just bring things up, then they tie into the game.
Yeah.
Well, this would be one of those instances.
The Mandrake reference.
Yeah. I'm not saying I don't enjoy it. I love it. How could you not? 1-2 the count on Martinez, who's 1 for 3, lined out to left, fly to center, and a base hit to center. Struck him out. Time to stretch in a 3-1 ball game. For Carlos Martinez, pitching now into the 7th. He's had one blemish. That's been it. The double that was hit by Belt in the 6th to score. Hunter Pence checked that Corquez Hernandez.
Yeah, and Hernandez got to first because of a bad hop to DeYoung. So it could have been a shutout, but it's not.
Sandoval, Hundley, and Slater. Cardinals with a change defensively on the infield. Jerko is at third base. Matt Carpenter now at first. First pitch to Sandoval, a strike. You also may see later in the game where Dexter Fowler will get one more at bat, and then Bader would come in and take over in right. Corey Guerin, right-hander, throwing in the pen for the Giants.
Oh boy, no walks. See Pena saying stay on top. Carlos, more than anybody, the Cardinals has a tendency to drop that arm, kind of goose the ball, and it goes outside the left-handed batters.
Cardinals seeing that as well, so Mike Myers heading down to their bullpen. And a 3-2 pitch to Sandoval. Ground ball to DeYoung, and he makes the play. Phillips 66 ticket vouchers, they're back. Fill up at Phillips 66, 8 gallons or more, and you can get a voucher for up to 50% off on up to 8 tickets to a home game. For more information, visit cardinals.com/Phillips66. Here's Hundley, and that's strike one. Fly ball lifted into right field. Fowler coming in a few steps to make the catch. Out number 2. Austin Slater. Well, you're 6 spots away from Martinez in the lineup. He's at 93 pitches. If this is an efficient inning, wonder if Mike Matheny would be open to the idea of one more inning from Carlos Martinez.
Why not? Of course, there's a big lead at the time of the Cardinals, but that's what he did with Luke Weaver the other night.
Pitches by inning.
Forget pitch counts. Forget it. Sorry, Danny.
And the pitch count is up to 94.
Yeah, and Carlos Martinez is as effective now as he was in the first inning. Doesn't matter about 94 pitches.
And a grounder past Carpenter and into right field. Tying run comes to the plate.
I honestly didn't mean to jump on you, partner, but
Tim,
you know, no. I mean, I'm serious about that. But you know, that pitch count. You can't tell me Carlos Martinez is less effective now than he was in the first or second or third inning.
I know you weren't jumping on me. You were jumping on the pitch count.
Yeah, pitch count.
You love the pitch count.
No, I don't. No, I don't.
Austin Jackson, the pinch hitter.
Yeah, I mean, it's like show the pitch count, and because it's 94, the base hit to right field was because his pitch count was up. Now, does that make sense? No.
Left on the bench for Bruce Bochy. It'll be Chase Darno, just called up. and also Buster Posey. I thought Bruce may use Posey here as a tying run at the plate.
Well, you've got 2 outs.
That's the difference.
I think I'd rather hope to get him in a situation where it's 1st and 2nd or 1st and 3rd and maybe less than 2 outs. I don't know.
Ball and a strike to Austin Jackson. 1-2.
Good fastball for Martinez. That was right there.
Two and two. Jackson really takes his time after every pitch, out of the box. Cleans his spikes, adjusts the gloves. The 2-2 pitch. And he struck him out with a changeup. We head to the 8th. It's 3-1. For the Giants, and the Cardinals have Ozuna, DeYoung, and Fowler.
Got 2 right-handers, 2 left-handers. I mean, if I'm Bruce Bochy, I got to have a left-hander warming up in the bullpen and ready for Dexter Fowler, who is batting 6th. Right, left-handed batters are hitting .340 against Guerin this year. Nobody warming for the Giants, however.
Jordan Hicks throwing in the Cardinals pen. Day for Martinez is through. Crowd of 39,606 here today 39606. And having said that, Tim, maybe Bruce Bochy is saying, well, I'd rather take my chances with Fowler and Guerin as opposed to bringing in a lefty and then having Bader, Munoz, Molina hit. Those are his options.
Certainly a good point.
And the 0-2 pitch now to Marcell Ozuna. Had a 2-strike base hit back in the 4th. A single to left field that he muscled out there and then was brought in. The sac fly by Fowler. Strikeout of Ozuna. July 15th, that's a Sunday, and it features promotional giveaways for the entire family. 30,000 fans 16 and older take home a baseball stitch print Cardinals tote bag. The kids 15 and younger will take home a Fredbird hooded towel presented by the Pasta House Company. Tickets at cardinals.com/promotions. Paul DeYoung with a base hit to right. Run scored back in inning number 4. Fly to center and popped out to short. Oh, 0-2. And got him to wave at it and a strikeout. Back-to-back Ks.
Two sliders to get two right-handed hitters.
Here's Fowler, sac fly. Back in the 4th inning. Notice Fowler's teammates after that sac fly all came over. High fives, pats on the back. I mean, they're pulling for him. They know it's been a tough week. A wonderful week in his personal life with birth of a child, but tough professionally, I'm sure. One ball, one strike. Giants have the top of their lineup coming up in the bottom. Hernandez, Hansen, and McCutchen. The 1-1 pitch to Dexter Fowler. One and two. And Fowler hits it out to right center. But the catch is made by McCutchen. Hicks coming on when we come back. Last 5 games. Mentioned at the top of our broadcast, the starters that pitched well this last time through. Again today for Martinez. Couple that with the bullpen. Got a chance to win some ball games.
Outstanding job by Carlos Martinez, and Mike Maddox, the pitching coach, certainly knows that. This should be fun. Anytime Jordan Hicks toes the rubber, it's going to be fun. Whether the Cardinals win or not, that's another story, but this will be fun in the process of trying to.
Chevy called to the pen. Top of the lineup, Hernandez, Hansen, and McCutchen. Mark Melancon starts to throw in the Giants' pen. Fastball taken low at 101. Little changeup back to Hicks, and Wong makes the play.
There's a changeup because there was a splintered bat that hit it. Sometimes when pitchers release that ball, they're about 55 feet away, and you think it's hit harder than it is. Unfortunately for Jordan Hicks, he didn't touch the ball, and Wong was ever able to make a relatively easy play out of it. One thing about Hicks, he hasn't had spells of wildness. Can you think of any?
He had 1 game, and you say it's a spell of wildness just because he's been so efficient. And the Cardinals, if he runs into any kind of trouble, which is few and far between, they get him out of there quickly. You know, not to waste pitches, just get him out. But to your point, for the most part, no. For a guy that's throwing this hard with that movement, no.
The movement, sometimes a guy throws so hard that his movement takes him out of the strike zone. That has not been the case with Hicks, even though he's behind here.
He has never walked more than 2 in any outing this year, to further your point. It has been all fastballs here from Jordan Hicks.
Well, his slider, even though it's improved, is not effective against left-handed hitters. I think you save that for a right-handed hitter.
The 2-2 pitch.
Yeah, I don't agree with that call. On a 2-2 count, I think you throw. Remember I was telling about the little index cards that Hal Smith gave me back in the early 60s? Giving me 2-2 counts are very important. You call for the pitch that the pitcher gets over the most because you don't want to run the count to 3-2.
High chopper over Hicks. Wong couldn't get it out of the glove and an infield hit. Nothing you can do about that.
Hicks is so dominant with that fastball. Sometimes high choppers like that, you got to almost tip your cap to a hitter and say that's it.
Will Smith has joined Melancon in the Giants' pen. McCutchen singled to right, stole his 7th base of the year back in the 1st, and was left stranded. It's grounded to 3rd, grounded to short. Fastball, strike 1. Wild pitch, charge to Hicks. Hansen advancing to second base.
Hicks shook off the fastball and went to the slider. It's in the dirt. Karams off the chest protector of Pena.
Two and one. 103 on the gun. It's the Giants' first look at Hicks in person, and sometimes you see the reactions of other hitters or the bench, and they're all kind of talking like, "Are you watching this guy?"
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you hear about him, but facing him's another thing. Was that a slider or a cutter?
That was a slider.
See, I'm telling you, with Jordan Hicks on the mound, if I get in trouble, I'm going to go to his fastball and not the slider. His slider has improved, but it's not anywhere near what the fastball is. Guys on the bench don't go ooh and ah because of the slider. I guarantee you that.
Three and two.
That fastball is suffocating to right-handed batters.
Brandon Belt at the on-deck circle. 3-2 pitch to McCutchen. Struck him out. 102 catching the corner.
McCutchen helpless on that fastball on the outside corner. And Hicks probably got a break on that, but he'll take it.
Here's Belt 2 for 3. Single to right. RBI double just inside the right field line. That brought in Hernandez for the Giants' lone run back in the 6th. 2 outs. Strike one.
Sure, a little easier thinking about facing Belt with a runner at second and a 2-run lead than a runner at first and second and a 2-run lead. Huge strikeout of McCutchen.
One and two.
Situation, if you're the on-deck hitter and the left-handed batters, you better be alive over there. The way this guy can throw and the speed.
Late swings.
Yeah, Brandon Crawford could be in trouble. He's not but 30 feet away.
Think about it a lot. You have no time to react. Really.
No.
And Pena wants to visit on 1 and 2. This week on Cardinals Insider, it's Matt Carpenter at the plate. Plus, beat the newest Cardinals from this year's MLB draft. It's all coming up tomorrow at noon on Cardinals Insider here on Fox Sports Midwest. One-two pitch to Belt. 2-2. The 2-2 into center field for a base hit. We've got a one-run game. Let's go pitch by pitch. Hicks to Belt.
All fastballs. 1-2 now. 2-2. These guys are big league hitters. For some, it doesn't matter whether it's 102, 103 miles an hour.
Right. To me, that what Bell just did is how you have to hit Hicks. Either take him the other way, but he's going to provide all the
because
power.
when you do that, you're going with the trail of the sinker.
Exactly.
The sinker's going away from you. If you try to pull the ball, you do Hicks a favor.
That's my point.
Yeah.
This young man is fun to watch, though.
Yes,
man, oh
he
man.
is.
Here's Crawford, who is 0 for 3. Strike one. One pitch. With the slider. A ball and a strike. Mike Myers for the second time is up. But Bud Norris had a little issue with his index finger in Arizona, and the Cardinals do anticipate that he would be available if needed in this game. Two and one. Two and two.
That was the best pitch he's thrown all day. I say all day here in the 8th inning. This is nasty. Sink and velocity. Tough to cope with it.
Just missed. 3-2. We went with a 2-2 slider. Now 3-2. Belt off with the pitch. The ballpark that you get it in the gap, he could score. And a ground ball hit to short. DeYoung with it, and he makes the play. The Giants pick up a run. We head to the 9th inning. 3-2 Cardinals. City of San Francisco. The Cardinals with a 1-run lead. What a shot that was. Melanson.
Telegraph Hill.
Fun place to be.
Oh, man. What a skyline. None like it in the world.
Chevy called to the pen. Melanson pitching here in the 9th. Cardinals with Wong, Pena, and a pinch hitter. More than likely for Hicks. We'll see. Bud Norris is up and throwing at the Cardinals pen, so he's ready to go today. Colton Wong with 2 hits. Single in the 3rd to left. Bunt base hit in the 4th and grounded out to 1st.
That first swing was a fastball swing and a curveball. Looking fastball, didn't get it, swung anyway.
And he got it again.
Asked Ted Williams once if he guessed as a hitter. He said, I guess. All hitters guess. You're supposed to. You're not paying attention if you don't. Certainly up to 2 strikes. Even that changed in the game, though, Dan. Two strikes you protect. You can guess up to 2 strikes. Like that. Guess the first 2 pitches and then protect it.
Let it go deep. Spoil it.
Right.
Nothing in 2, the count on Wong. Giants will have Hundley due up second, and in front of him will be Sandoval. So Sandoval, Hundley, and Slater. And remember, they still have Buster Posey on their bench. Keep that in mind. Two balls and 2 strikes. Cardinals called it, Mike Matheny said to both of us with Bud Norris, a stinger in his index finger. Said that'll pop up every once in a while, and
I think it may have a lot to do with blood flow.
Yes. So he had treatment with that the last couple of days, and see if he can't pick up a save. That's hit down the left field line, foul.
Meanwhile, the Cardinals are looking for more runs.
Strikeout of Wong. Mentioned that Posey is available off the bench for Bruce Bochy. He is 5 for 11 with 2 doubles against Bud Norris. We'll see if it comes to a matchup. Francisco Pena, RBI single to right field back in the 4th inning. Jairo Munoz has moved to the on-deck circle. Two.
Yeah, I don't agree with that strategy. Usually 2 out, nobody on. You're trying to get an extra base hit so you can score on 2 hits instead of 3. Not only that, but Pena is not a fast runner. So more than any other time, he'd try to get, you would think, try to get an extra base hit with 2 outs.
He shoots that foul.
I said with 2 outs, I beg your pardon, there's 1 out.
And the 0-2 pitch. Pena lines it to second.
Good at bat, hit it hard. Right at somebody.
Munoz 1 for 5 in the series. DeYoung was activated before game 2. And that pitch high.
Sometimes Mark Melancon, more than any other, certainly relief pitcher in baseball, looks like he puts forth minimum effort to get guys out. Isn't it? He's a very strange right-handed pitcher. It's almost a right-handed pitcher in a left-handed pitcher's mind. See left-handers like that, but very few right-handers with that particular style of getting guys out.
Straight over the top.
Curveball that is often up.
And a walk to Munoz to extend the inning to Matt Carpenter. At 51 saves with the Pirates in 2015.
He's a very capable guy, no question. He just goes about it in a unique fashion.
Was a closer in college as well at the University of Arizona. Teammates with Nick Hundley. So this battery, they know each other quite well. Well, lately a rare 0 for 3 day for Carpenter.
They've been with each other through thin and thin.
Yeah. Here's a 1-0 pitch to Matt Carpenter. The cutter catches the corner. 1 ball, 1 strike. Two and 1. Norris now basically just standing on the mound in the bullpen. He's hot, ready to roll for the bottom of the 9th.
Regardless of what happens offensively for the Cardinals, they'll take a situation like this all day, every day, to give Bud Norris a chance to save a game when they're ahead.
2-2.
That's that high curveball from Melanson. You say that ball's supposed to be down. Well, it is, but often it's not with him.
Melanson in his second year after coming over as a free agent, finished up 16 with Washington. Actually began his pro career in the big leagues with the Yankees. It's in Houston, Boston, Pittsburgh, Washington, and now San Francisco. Stays 2-2. What a battle here.
Really is. Cardinals with 7 hits today, and while that's appropriate, when they have 7 or more hits in a game, they're 40-24, as Dan Hyatt points out. Dan, who does such a remarkable job for us, and makes our job certainly that much easier, doesn't he, Dan?
He certainly does. Lucky to have him. Another 2-2 pitch. Carpenter fights it off into shallow left. Sends us to the bottom of the ninth. the closer for the Cardinals. The bottom of the ninth rolls in here in San Francisco. The Chevy called to the pen. Sandoval, the first batter he'll face. Sandoval is 0 for 3 today. Giants about hit the Cardinals 8-7. Numbers for the switch hitter against Bud Norris. And a ground ball. Backing up. Wong. One away. Budweiser plays of the game, and the start by Carlos Martinez. He was sensational.
He really was. Kept it together throughout. Only one extra base hit. That was the double by Brandon Belt in the 6th inning.
Nick Hundley. Slater to follow. That's up the middle. Wong is there. 2 quick outs for Norris.
Bud Norris probably thinking, thank God I didn't touch that ball. Because you don't know what's going to happen after that.
Could go anywhere.
Yeah.
Buster Posey at the on-deck circle. Final hope for the Giants to try to extend the ball game is Slater. Two outs and nobody on. Strike one. Oh, and 2.
Well, that ball disappeared under the bat of Austin Slater. My gosh. Looked like a splitter. Certainly acted like that. May not have intended it.
One and 2. The 1-2 pitch by Norris, swung on and missed, and the Cardinals take game 3. They hold on by the final of 3-2.
What a great game. What a great game to win. The Cardinals lose 3-2 last night. They win 3-2 today. Well done by the guys in red.
It's off to the post-game show. Martinez, his 3rd consecutive win. Norris, another save. And the Cardinals go for a series win tomorrow. Post-game show comes your way next.